What's going on, guys? Fun with Knives back again, and I'm finally getting around to do my Tops Tibo review. I got this knife in hopes that it would replace my SE Izula 2, and it definitely did. So let's go over the specs real quick, and I'll tell you why I like this knife so much. 2 3/4 inch blade, 3 3/4 inch handle, making your overall length 6.5 inches. The blade thickness here is just about 1/8 of an inch at 0.13, and it is full tank construction, so that thickness is going to go all the way through the handle. Your weight on this guy, 1.9 ounces, so crazy light. And I'm not sure if that's with or without the sheath, but like I said in the unboxing video of the Tops Tibo, the sheath is very minimal and shouldn't add a whole lot of weight anyway. So you guys know that I love Tops knives. In fact, I would go as far to say that they're my go-to fixed blade company. But the other two knives I have, the Cut 4.0 and the Dawn Warrior, are a little bit big. And I'm talking for everyday carry here. I do occasionally carry the Cut 4.0, the Dawn Warrior, but you know they're kind of cumbersome in comparison to the smaller fixed blades like the Tibo. So I was hoping when I got the Tibo that it would be better than the Izula, and I definitely think it is. Wish I had my Izula here to show you. But let's look at the blade here first. Classic drop point design. Very utility based, and it has a nice sharp tip, but it's still beefy. Like most Tops, these things are very freaking tough. Tops Tibo written here, Tops logo there, and then you got a sterile backside. So you're probably thinking to yourself, their black traction coating is not very good. Well, just like with all my other Tops knives, I abuse the crap out of these things. I go out of my way to test their toughness, you know, stabbing and cutting everything I can find with these. And I love the blade shape. You got a full flat grind in here. And yes, these streaks are from batoning. And no, I did not need to baton with this very little knife. I just wanted to see if it could do it, and it did it. So the coating is holding up very well. It's nice and thin behind the edge, but still retaining that toughness that Tops is known for. And yes, this is 1095 high carbon steel, and Tops 1095 continues to impress. It holds an edge longer than any other 1095 I've owned, and it's very easy to sharpen. In fact, I had a big chip in this blade. I knocked it right out with my DMT Aligner Pro Kit sharpening system, which was just a piece of cake. Nice sharpening choil here. Should have decent edge thinness behind the whole thing there. The jimping here on top is nice and sharp and really locks you in. I mean, this might be perfect jimping for cutting. Now, if you're going to be using the saber grip and using this knife hard, you're going to get a whole lot of thumb pain from that jimping, but I'd rather have it overly aggressive than not there. And that's one thing I love about the Tops Tibo in comparison to the Izula or the Izula 2. This thing has grip all over it. In fact, if I were to take this paracord off, it's got that same kind of jimping here and I think down here as well. So skeletonized handle lends itself very well to be wrapped in your flavor of paracord or a lanyard or whatever you want to do. And I did it with this desert tan kind of color. Not the best wrap in the world, but it has yet to fall off, so that's pretty good. Decent finger guard here. I mean, this knife isn't meant for super hard use, even though it could take it on, but it feels good in a variety of grips, and that 3 3/4 inch handle is just enough to get a 4-finger grip. I mean, it's a little cramped, but this thing is so easy to carry and so lightweight. I like the size, and reverse grip is very good as well. Got to cut that Izula flavor of handle here with a little bit of a different finger guard for your middle finger, which the Izula does not have. So let's talk about the sheath here, and that's one of my very favorite aspects of this knife. Kydex sheath, very simple design and very, very thin. In fact, guys, this is the best neck knife that I've ever owned, and it's all stemming from the sheath. 2 reinforced grommet holes, one that's not, and then your standard 2 holes at the top to hang it. Now, no, this is not running as a neck knife right now. I've been wearing it in the waistband, kind of Lucas Burnley style, if you guys want to look that up. He has his Obaki and things from CRKT, where you loop this around your belt, and then it just kind of rides in the waistband. You pull it out, this hangs off your belt, and you're good to go. So retention in the sheath is fantastic. I mean, There's no rattle, there's no nothing. It's not a very clicky fit, if you know what I mean. It just kind of presses in there. But I've ran this thing off my neck and gone on very long hiking trips and jumped around, and no worry about this thing coming out. So as a neck knife, this thing performs awesome, better than an Izula, because the Izula sheath is thicker and it is wider, and this thing is about as minimal as it gets. Now this little thumb ramp here is not very functional if you got paracord. You can use it, but if you want to leave this thing skeletonized, this thumb ramp works very well. But if you don't, and you want to paracord wrap it, you're going to have to do kind of the tug thing. There's not a whole lot of places you can pull off. Of course, you can use your middle finger or something like that. But I view it more as just you got to yank it out. So all in all, guys, do I recommend this knife? Absolutely. If you're into neck knives or into smaller fixed blades and you want to have something in your pack, you know, for everyday carry, you can carry this thing in the pocket, which I've done a couple of times. You can run it in the waistband. You can run it around your neck, you know, or just tied off to some gear. The Tops Tibo is definitely the way to go. I mean, they run their 1095 just a little bit soft, but it's very, very easy to sharpen. And this thing's coming in at $48.95 on Blade HQ right now, which is cheaper than an Izula, which is very comparable as far as dimensions. I mean, steel quality. I just like the Tibo a little bit better. That's just me. So thanks for watching, guys, as always. And remember, have fun with your knives.